What's up, teammates? Do people actually listen to themselves when they speak? Do they look to hear what they said before they continue saying something more? What the hell is wrong with everybody? There's nothing but anger and despair and disdain for what the Raiders are doing. All you hear is, we need to fire AP and fire Getsky, and we need to start over, and we should try to trade Max, and then we should tank and give everything we have and give it into a chance for, Shedeur Sanders, Mr. Bob, or, you know, whatever. There's quite a few people who make content out here who are all panicking and throwing the whole damn season away. And why are they panicking and throwing their season away when you ask them? Because this team is being trashed because Mark Davis is hiring the wrong people. And we need to get rid of the people that he hires because there's no continuity in this team. There's nothing sustained. We're just the Raiders. We're bouncing all over the place and we can never get anything right. Did anybody hear what I just said? Did anybody hear me just say, we just got a coach, fire him 6 games into the season, start all over again, because the problem is Mark Davis doesn't know how to bring any stability to the franchise. You said Antonio Pierce can't get his stuff together, ship him out. I'm just wondering, how long does it take to get your stuff together? 3 games? Is it 6 games that you guys are giving him and now he's out? Was it last week that I did not hear that, and all of a sudden 6 weeks into it, you calculate and you say, yep, you can't do it. I don't know what the hell I was thinking about. Get rid of them. Start all over again. And what do you do as fans? Or say as an owner, what does he do? Listen to you? Listen to the fans who say, get rid of them? Hello? Everybody out there who's saying get rid of them. Is that what you want? Is that what you truly want? Is that what you think you want? To get rid of AP right now. Figure out whomever out there you can coach. And all everybody keeps saying is, whoever AP sucks and is over his head, we at least got to get somebody who's been a head coach before. Okay. Whatever your argument is, it's still another coach that we have to get. And what are we complaining about? We've had too many coaches over the last 4 years. We had Gruden, Bisaccia, McDoofus, AP. It's just turnover after turnover for the head coaching position, and you fans are supposed to be sick of it, right? Right? So why the hell are we supposed to get rid of this one all of a sudden? How can we find stability if we fire everybody 6 weeks into their regime because the fans are pissed off? So you guys go out there and be pissed off and yell, hoot and holler. That's not going to change anything. And if it did change anything, you're going to change it to what you want, and then what? Who are we going to promote to the head coach? Graham? Because if we fire him and we fire Getsky, now Graham's the head coach. What does Graham know about being the head coach? Nothing. But he's he's a defensive coordinator, so he's just going to have to get pushed up to the top. And, they said he had a chance at the jobs, and maybe he does. And maybe he could handle it. But then what? Are you going to demand that we hire him for next season? And if he doesn't get his stuff together in the first 6 games, his ass is out too? What the hell is wrong with you people? Why are you making some type of content like this? It's going to do nothing but frustrate people and force them into a thinking of negativity. Why are you trying to piss people off when they go to work on Monday? What's the point? You got to deal with some of those people. The dude that's being an asshole at the register one day when you at Walmart, you know why? It's because the Raiders lost. And then he listened to Q in the morning, and all Q said was, it's terrible. They need to get rid of it. They're not going to win if they keep that up, right? And you listen to other channels that do the same thing. They just sit there and wait till you get mad. I bring up Q because he's the earliest on, and he's the one that, the first listener of the day guy. So he has a big effect. And you know what? If you ask me, he's not very positive. And you know what? That trickles down to everybody else getting out there and just being mad at everything that's going on. You can't just get rid of the head coach because you want to provide some continuity for the team. We can't wait every 6 games and get rid of a head coach because they can't handle it. And you can't sit here and bitch about the head coach for the next 16 damn games or however long you want to continue to bitch about it to the beginning of the next season. That's not going to help you, the team, anybody watching the team, and everybody rooting for the team. None of your complaints, none of your drama, none of your we need to hire him or fire them and we need to redo and getting done. None of that crying, complaining, and hollering is going to do anything but make people upset all the daggone time. And then where do we go with that? What do we get with that? We get upset fans that don't want to show up to games. And then what do we get? We get fans complaining the fact that fans aren't showing up to the games, but the people who are supposed to be fans are selling the seats. And then the people say, well, I don't blame you for selling your seats because look at what the Raiders are putting out there. But we're supposed to be supporting them and buying the seats. You understand, people? Do you listen to yourselves? Do you speak, hear, and think, and then speak more? Or do you just continue to roll out whatever you're going to complain and gripe about before you decide, wait a minute, what I'm saying is stupid. It's too far to fire him 6 games into his regime. It's too early to say that Aiden O'Connell will never be a good quarterback. It's too early to say that Luke Getsy could never get it together. I'm not happy with Luke Getsy either. I think he's doing some very questionable play calling. I'm not calling for his head right now because he can't. You can't get it together in 6 games. It's not going to just be magically delicious. Okay, this is football. It's not Lucky Charms, man. You got to work at that. And then we're talking about all the injuries we have. We're talking about how our offensive players are on and off and on and off. This is the first 6 games they played with each other, and everybody hasn't played together, say, game 1. There's been offensive injuries from that point on, from Mayer to Zamir to Jacoby recently to Devontae to all kinds of different starters. So Brock Bowers got hurt a little bit. He still played. But still, we have all our offensive players getting hurt with a quarterback who's not all that good, whose timing is bad, and who hasn't had time to work with the receivers on timing in the first place. And it's 6 games into the season, and everybody needs to lose their job. We need to trade Devontae, which ended up having actually a good thing for us because, you know, it worked out better for us. Having Devontae for the rest of the season was going to kill us anyway because it's going to turn into a Derek Carr situation, and we weren't going to get anything for him at all. So right now, with this 3rd-round pick and conditional 2nd-round pick, that's awesome. So, okay, getting rid of Devontae is a good idea. But next, so we should be trading Max Crosby to get even more draft capital so we can. There's people saying these things. It's not worth going into sometimes. But it's worth discussing because I want people to hear what they're saying, to just listen to someone else tell them how foolish they sound when they say it. Or just listen to me tell you, and if it sounds like it makes sense coming out of my mouth. Because you're not paying attention to what's coming out of your mouth, obviously. So the 18 of us is here. Let's try to parrot the message out. Let's like, share, subscribe, and whatever that they be saying over there in those channels. But or just talk to somebody at work, man. This drama, this negativity, this anger, just throwing all this around is just complaining for the sake of complaining, and it's not going to help anything. It's not going to change anything. It's not going to help you. It's not going to help me, and it's not going to help the Raiders. So why? Why? Because you don't want to do anything positive with yourself. Why? Because anger sells. Why? Because you can click somebody who's pissed a lot quicker. Whatever, man. Let's get it together. So, some of us fans, some of us people with some damn sense. Let's keep it together in our heads at least. Because whether we're doing terrible or not, we can't scrap everything 6 weeks into the season, then scrap everything another 6 weeks into the season before the season's over because the interim head coach doesn't know what the heck he's doing and we still got some time, so get rid of him. And then complain about the fact that the team has no continuity. We've had so many head coaches over the last 5 seasons. And complain about the fact that we've had so many different quarterbacks over the last 5 seasons that Devontae had to deal with. Complain, complain, complain. Get exactly what you want, and then complain about getting it. So everybody out there, go ahead and do that. Push the negativity as far as you can, as hard as you can. But it's not doing anything for anybody, and it's not going to change anything, and it's all going to frustrate you because you're not thinking, you speak it. And if you heard everything you said, not anything, because you can specifically say everything in separate points and you don't string it together and you can make it make sense. But if you literally say we have no continuity as a team and I want everybody fired right now to start over, you gotta shut up. You really gotta just listen to yourself and listen to the ridiculous. It's just spewing. You either stay on the team, stay with the program, look forward and follow a vision, a plan. Or you say, I don't see what I like right now, I'm starting over. And unless somebody gets to the playoff in year number 1, scrap them. And keep doing it until you get somebody right. That's the same way as some people saying, keep scrapping the number 1 quarterback until you get a chance to get a good one. Draft a quarterback every year just because. And then when it doesn't work out, who are you pissed off at? The people who picked the wrong point. I wanted the other one. And people get so loud with it. And then everybody joins in on the same team with the negativity. There's so many people that was pumping up AP. Like, yeah, he can be here. He needs to do this. He's able to run the team. He's such a good team motivator. We going to stand behind him because the team's standing behind him. And now those people are calling for his daggone neck. And I mean, these are just not fans running around. These are people who have a voice. I mean, they're content creators. They are good at what they do. You know what I'm saying? They got thousands of views. These people have a voice. They get a message to quite a number of people. And that's the best message they can send out. Give up, scrap it, try again next year. And if it doesn't work, and we draft, we give everything away, and we draft Shedeur Sanders, and somehow in the world, he doesn't work out in the first 6 games. If he doesn't do Jaden Daniels or C.J. Stroud in the first 6 games, are you guys going to hug him or get rid of him? How many games are you going to give him? Are you going to give him a full season? Seriously? Listen to yourselves how you react to everything. You got no patience, people. You young folk watch too much YouTube and TikTok, okay? Watch something that lasts for more than a minute. See if it can keep your concentration, okay? See if you can focus on that fact that there's a future, not 6 games, but you know what? 6 years, 5 years. You can't get it as soon as you got it, okay? You can't just put something together and expect it to work, especially if you're going to complain about everything. You can't say that everybody on our team sucks and why are we losing? You know what I'm saying? It's one or the other. You can't get mad at our depth, say our team has no depth and that's our problem, and then when all our starters get hurt and when we play because our depth is our problem, we lose and, well, the team sucks. But we do what we're supposed to suck. You're the ones who say we have no depth. Everybody knows that technically, but that doesn't mean you don't have any confidence. But no. There's other people spewing that we have no depth, and that was the biggest thing. A lot of content creators, that's their biggest thing. We're a bad team because we have no depth and it won't work out. But then we get to the depth and it's, oh, these guys don't know what the hell they're doing. Well, yeah, that's why they're not starters. If they were that good, they'd be starting, right? They're not that good, so they're backups. And if they were good backups, they'd be on somebody else's team starting. Okay? So we're working with the best that we have, and everybody who's making content out there has already said that we're not deep enough. Everybody. Not a single person is happy with the depth of the team. None of them. And then they say when someone gets hurt, we suck because we don't have anything and we should have won. But how can we win if we don't even have our best players on the team that are, would you guys admittedly say, are the worst backup lineup in the league? So even if you trust the talent of our starters, our backup lineup is the worst in the league, and that's been stated by all the content creators. And then when we get the worst of our team on the field against the sixth or seventh best defense in the league, we're supposed to dominate. Okay? We're supposed to overcome bad calls. We're supposed to overcome, just freakish situations, a block punt, which hasn't happened in, 13 years? So, yeah, it's a freaky situation. And go ahead and say it's because we don't know how to block. Go ahead and add it on there. Or maybe the Steelers know how to do it because they've done it before. I think this season, Anyway, let's not talk about the Steelers' talent. What we're talking about is we as a team are fighting an uphill battle with leaders who have just become the leaders of this team and who admittedly have not done it and have to do it at this level before. I mean, actually, yeah, Getsky had his own offense. So he's done this before. Our defensive coordinator, Patrick, he ran the defense last year. He's done this before. So Antonio Pierce is the only one that's new, but he's the one that needs to learn the most. Okay? He's the one with the least experience. You all know that. How's his inexperience supposed to lead to perfect coaching decisions within each instant of each game? You guys can go back and say he should have challenged that. I believe he should have challenged it too. Within the instance of the game, though, it's also a good idea to try to go quick while everybody's looking around, see if there's going to be a challenge and waiting to get in there. And while they just came off a package that wasn't a first and goal pack, they weren't in jumbo. And if we were going to go rush for a 1 yarder, it'd be best for us to get our package in ready to go where we want to do versus their package that's not jumbo. So we can get in there quick. We're not expecting a fumble. We don't think that, hold on, we should wait because there might be a fumble. And yeah, we could have stopped and went for the review. I would have stopped and went for the review, but that might be just because I wanted to get Aiden to touchdown on the pass. But other than that, you can say that you would have done something different. That doesn't mean that what you would have done would have been right or would have worked out any differently. What if he challenged it, lost the challenge, lost the timeout later in the game in the half? He needed that timeout. Well, he made his foolish challenge, right? Well, you can go say that on Monday. And we all know the whole Monday quarterback thing is out there. That's what the other contents like prey on. That's what they do. Monday night, Monday morning quarterback on every mistake that was made. The frustration that you feel is similar to the frustration I feel because it's just like, come on, man. Think about what you're saying. Think about yourself. And if you're not going to think about what you're saying and think about yourself, think about who you're saying to too. Think about the fact that you're telling everybody the same common foolishness that, is being spewed about. Fire AP right now. How? How do we do that? And then how do we become a team that has continuity? Because we're going to fire our head coach and then try again. And then what? Who are we going to wait for? Do we have any out? Are we just going to run and get Belichick? Huh? He's one of the best options out there. He's quarterback. He's, Super Bowl winning coach. But if he doesn't work out in 6 games, it's because he's trash and he had no chance to do anything without Tom Brady. So we need to find a way to be patient or shut up. You know what I'm saying? Because this frustration that you're spewing ain't doing nothing but making customer service harder for us all. So understand that we can't fire AP no matter how angry you holler because it provides no continuity for the team. Getsky is a different case. If Getsky doesn't get his play calling a little bit better, he could be out the door and should be out the door. He has too many talented players to be messing it up the way he is. Now, that doesn't mean that he can't get it together perfectly because we see early in the game, earlier drives, he gets it done. And then I don't know if he goes away from it, he lacks the confidence in it. He makes some mistakes that, like, I don't know why. Who evaluates the talent on this team? That's the problem. Who says who is good enough to start? And that's why they're putting in the wrong people at the wrong time. That's the biggest mistake they're making, is they're not using their talent appropriately. That's the problem. That's what Getsky needs to be fired for if he gets fired for. But again, we can't fire him after 6 games. We got to wait to see what happens. So let's wait and see. And until then, let's talk about the things that are making it look like there's something good to look forward to towards the end of this season. Because if it's not going well now, that doesn't mean that nothing positive is happening at this point. It just means you want to harp and holler at everything that's negative, although you've predicted the negative coming. So we've got to get your head, us, at least just us. Let's get our head out of the content creators. Let's stop frustrating ourselves with the double talk. Wait, see what happens, and then make a decision from there. Let's see if we can grow and progress. Okay? Don't just hop out the gate and say, if we stumble, it's freaking over. See, they tripped. It's over. New runner, new team, different race. Get rid of the shoes, the sneaker. I want another deal and get on a different track, right? That's what you guys sound like out there. All of you content creators, everybody that changed their mind from AP to fire him, everybody that hates Getsky and says, now, get rid of him, who has no idea who's going to come next, and how do we get any continuity with the offense going together if we fire somebody and bring in somebody brand new, and we have to learn a whole new playbook for somebody's whole new offense in the middle of the daggone season? Or is that person going to take Getsky's playbook and start from there? Who knows the playbook well enough to take Getsky's job? And then what, are we going to fire him if he go 4 for 2 then with hurt players? How we can't do these things in the middle of the season. And we shouldn't do them at the end of the season. But we have to figure out what's going on this season. Not this month. This season. And you know what? You can be upset. You can be, disgruntled per game as it happens. Complain about plays. Complain about, drives. Complain about passes. Hey, complain about coaching. But don't go out there general managing everybody and screaming and hollering and getting mad. It doesn't work for anybody. And it doesn't change anything. And it's not going to change anything. And if it does change anything, all you're going to get is what you want and what you don't want. You're going to get what you want because you're going to get fired, but you don't want to keep having this inconsistency as a team and as a head coach at the head coach position, because we've had so many in the last 5 years. Come on, people. Listen to yourself. Look in the mirror and say the same damn thing that you're saying to everybody else. See how much sense it makes. And if you really look at yourself and say that again, keeps you moving. But understand that it makes absolutely no damn sense. Okay? Not a lick. So continue it. Piss everybody off. I hope when you get to Walmart, the person you check out listens to you and doesn't know what you look like and is pissed off because you pissed them off about we need to fire AP. When you can't do it, it's ridiculous to try. And if you did it right now, you make the team even worse. We could fire Gretzky right now, but it makes the team even worse. We're not going to bring in somebody who's a whole new idea with a much better offense idea in the middle of the season, and it's going to bloom. They're not going to learn a whole new playbook in the middle of the season and bloom. So what are you going to say? Did you fire that guy too? Give something a chance to work. Get your ears and eyes off of TikTok, man. Look at something that takes more than a minute to comprehend. Because it takes more than 6 games to comprehend what's going to go on the season. So we can't win them all, okay? The clouds get dark. They are dark now, but that doesn't mean you can't look for the bright side. And if you're looking for the bright side, come to the silver lining. Guru out. I'm sorry, I seem a little upset.